From Fox 55 Sports, this is The Locker Room.
We got next. We ready to flex. We're ready to rock. Headed to the top. We got next. Can't settle for less. I'ma need your best. So give it all you got. We got next. We ready to flex. We're ready to rock. Headed to the top. We got next. Can't settle for less. I'ma need your best. So give it all you got. We got next.
With that regular season game, I don't think the score told what kind of team we are against them. Going into the half, it was 12-14, and we kind of just let ourselves go after the half. So I think it'll be a lot different game, different conditions.
Our kids aren't worried about, who the opponent is. Our kids aren't worrying about, what's happened against them in the past. And that's the mindset is we're going to go, we're going to play, we're going to enjoy, we're going to have fun, and we're going to play as hard as we can. And then at the end of the game, we'll look to the board and we'll see if we're successful or not. If we are, we get the opportunity to play another week, and it's as simple as that.
It means a lot to both programs, obviously, because they haven't won in so long, and I feel like both are going to give it their all, but it's going to be a good one.
I haven't had the opportunity to hold up a sectional trophy before, so especially winning against Carroll in the sectional championship at home, it means so much to me.
I love working with all the seniors here. I mean, it would be heartbreaking if they had to go soon, but to bring them one, it would mean a lot because we worked really hard in the offseason to get to this point, and we're hoping they bring one home.
And the fact that it's Carroll and we know each other really well, that makes the game really tough and should be exciting, should be a great atmosphere. And what more could you ask for in November? Be playing for a sectional championship, So our kids are excited, coaches are excited, I'm sure they are too, and it should be great, a fun night of football.
Hey, good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome inside the locker room.
Hopefully it's warmer where you guys are than where we are. It is freezing in this studio, about the same temperature as it is outside.
I'm comfortable.
I'm not.
Alongside Peter Hood, I am Justin Prince. Pete, tonight is what high school football players work all season for.
Yep.
13 local teams vying for sectional championships all across the area. Highlights to show you from all of them. But we begin in Class 6A with a showdown on the southwest side.
Yeah, I mean, Chad Zolman said it best to open tonight's show. What more could you ask for, man? A rematch between two rivals and two of the best teams this city has to offer with a trip to the regional round on the line. We're talking, of course, about Homestead versus Carroll. It's the locker room's game of the week, which means we start our night at Walters Stadium. Spartans come in ranked second in the state. They're 10-0 on the season, and one of those wins was a 42-15 beatdown of Carroll back on October 4th. First half tonight was all Sparty. It's 17-0 Homestead when we pick this one up in the third, but Chargers get on the board as you see Hunter Mertz make his way into the end zone. Deficit down to 10. Ensuing touch for Homestead. Big hole for Ryan Burton. There's no one in front of him, but look out from behind. Ooh. Sophomore Tucker Steely strips it. Carroll recovers. Chargers get the ball back with a chance to make it a one-score game. But Jeff Becker, you probably don't want to throw Jake Archbold's way. The senior comes up with the INT, one of 4 picks on the night for Archbold, and that leads to this. Luke Goody drops it right into the breadbasket. You can't do it much better than that.
So pretty.
That's 6 for 6. Jared Kistler makes the touchdown grab. Homestead pulls away late on their way to their first sectional title since 2016. 38-14, your final.
They should have fun. It's a well-earned victory against a really good team, so they deserve it. Away with the turnover, just big plays like that. You never know what's going to happen, and you have to play hard every play. And this team has bought into it, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun ride.
Last week was a really good testament to our team. We were able to fight back and never stop believing. So that was the biggest thing, was to be able to believe in our team, and nothing was going to faze us. It's Carmel. It's an indie school. They have 5,000 students. We got to go to the basics and focus on us, execute the game plan, and just play together as one.
What a season it's been for Sparty, and you heard Jake say it. Their next opponent will be the Carmel Greyhounds, 35-7. Carmel lays a beatdown on Westfield tonight. The good news for Homestead fans, that game will be at Walters Stadium next week. Should be a good one.
Thank the Lord. Staying in 6A, Sectional 2 out at Warsaw. They're trying to make history on their home turf. Penn Kingsman traveling an hour south for this matchup. Tigers came out swinging on their first drive. Wyatt Amos with the option toss after getting sandwiched to Blake Marsh, who goes untouched for 6. Next possession for Penn, they give the ball to their workhorse, Kyle Riffle. He almost takes the cameraman out before he stops short of the goal line.
Hazardous out there.
And then a couple plays later, he powers his way in for the touchdown. Shaken up at the end there. He would walk off on his own power a little later. And in the second quarter now, Amos calls his own number. He follows his blockers into the end zone. As a former lineman, I love that.
There you go.
Helps give Warsaw their first ever sectional crown. They beat Penn 35-18. And it looks like Warsaw may have a date with Maryville on the line. Maryville currently beating Crown Point 10-9. That game in the fourth quarter because, you know, Central Time.
They're playing that one up in the region, as they call it. In Class 5A, a rematch from the final week of the regular season. Jason Garrett's Bishop Dwenger Saints taking on Northrop. That was a good game. This one was too early. Late first quarter, no score. Northrop starting a nice drive here. Demarius Cowan bullies his way for first down yardage.
Show him, young fella.
Later in the drive, Dylan Hoot connecting with Adrian Scott over the middle. Another first down, and we end the first scoreless. So Northrop hanging tough. Started the second, and that's when it went south for the Bruins. A little trickery here. Justin, I don't know where your camera's going, but the ball's going to Griffin Eifert on the interception. Ensuing touch for the Saints. Prince is usually pretty good with the camera. I gotta give him some crap every now and then. So many weapons. Many of them are named Tippin. This one's Devin. Screen pass goes for big yardage. Later in the drive, Saints down in the red zone. Play action from Brendan Lytle. And that's Eifert. And then I think you're going to see Eifert again here, right?
Yeah. This is a TPN.
Yeah.
Top play nominee.
That was beautiful. Saints, they go up 15 at recess. They cruise to their third straight sectional crown, 42-0, your final. This one wasn't close either, and this will be the Saints' opponent next week. A tough Harrison team all over McCutcheon tonight. 45-7, your final. I believe that game will be at Harrison next Friday for Bishop Dwenger.
I believe as well. Moving down to Class 4A, top 2 teams in the NE8 squaring off up in Kendallville tonight. Second-ranked East Noble hosting number 10 Leo. This one dominated by the Knights in the regular season. Much more competitive this time around. Scoreless when we picked this one up second quarter. Peyton Wall, so good. First down yardage, brought down inside the 10. Moments later, the give goes to Mason Sharon. He finds pay dirt, and the Lions strike first. It's 7-0 Leo, but East Noble answers right on back. Bailey Parker, dude is good, and when you give him a lot of time to throw, that's just bad news for the other team. Hayden Jones, that gets him into Leo territory, and then if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Parker to Jones again. That ties the game at 7. Knights go on to win 14-7. The drought is over in Kendallville. East Noble claims their first sectional since 03. And they will get a very good Mississinewa team. Mississinewa topping Marion 31-28 in the Sectional 20 championship.
All right, to Class 3A now. Sectional 27, the Concordia Cadets taking on the host Peru Tigers. And you know the term gracious host, don't you, Prince?
Yes.
Concordia, they took advantage of Peru's gracious defense tonight. Caleb Saylor with the riding there, folks. Amir Drew doing Amir Drew things on that run. 2 plays later, he's going to punch it in for 6. And after the PAT, Cadets go up 7-0. Peru would punt on their next drive, and it's more from Amir. This time, Brandon Davis on the screen pass. He fights off a few tackles, making his way down to the 25-yard line. Very next play, he says, we'll just go ahead and take the rest of those 25 yards. That's another touchdown for the Cadets.
I heard the Drew family's pretty good.
They got some athletes in that family, and this was the theme tonight, especially in the first quarter, as the Cadets have the ball again. This time it's Jalen Vanderbosch fighting his way into the end zone. It's 21-0 Concordia, and then just for good measure, Davis scrambling, throwing downfield, Tyler Grossman, and he's in as well. 28-0 Concordia at the end of the first quarter. They roll 56-6, your final. So congrats to Coach Manigault and company. You get Bishop Chatard next week. They're always tough, are the Trojans. They roll over a good West Lafayette team tonight. 42-14 the final.
To Class 2A now, an all-NECC battle up in Butler. Eastside hosting upstart Fairfield in the sectional 35 title game. 7-0 Blazers when we picked this one up late in the third. Fairfield with a chance to tie, but Lane Burns has other ideas. We said earlier, TPN, right?
Yeah.
This might be a TPN as well.
My goodness.
Quarterback on quarterback crime at its best. Gets the pick, returns for 6. I have a feeling we'll be seeing that one in a few minutes. Some 14
foreshadowing there.
Yes, and then they would run away with it from there. Later in the second, Ethan Farnsworth, guy missed, walks in for the score. Eastside football sectional champs for the first time ever, 34-0.
Congrats, Coach Mason.
And Eastside gets a date with Eastbrook.
Hey,
and they top Eastern.
That's going to be confusing. Oh, another East.
They top Eastern 42-12. So Eastbrook, Eastside next week.
It's a good
for
thing
regional.
East Noble's not in 2A.
No kidding.
To Class 1A now, second-ranked South Adams hosting Madison Grant in the sectional 43 final. Argyles, they come in winners of 4 straight, but they were quickly cooled off in this one. Prince, I'll let you guess how many plays it took South Adams to score. One. That's their first offensive play of the game. Nick Miller, he's just better than everybody else on the football field, and showing you why right there. Offensive Nick Miller, pretty good.
Yes.
Defensive Nick Miller, maybe even better. This is third down for Madison Grant, and Nick Miller making the stop, and South Adams gets the ball back, and they wouldn't need it for long. Just a couple plays into the drive, Grant Mosher dials up this doozy. Little reverse flea flicker. Arnold finds Aiden Warner for 6 as South Adams steamrolls their way to their first sectional title since 2016. 47-20, your final.
Out in Wabash, winner of this Northfield Adams Central game gets South Adams in the regional championship next week. And it was a battle out there. 14-24 Jets lead going into the third, but Northfield not going anywhere. Clayton Tomlinson finds the back of the end zone to bring the Norse within 3. Norse fans loving the tough play there. Adams Central ensuing touch. Opt for the handoff, but wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
A little trickaroo. Mason DeRue eyeing up Nick Neuenschwander, downfield. And, that's 6. That's pretty easy. Jets back up 10.
Easy math.
Norse would respond. Ensuing drive, Levi Fulkerson calls his own number, punches it in. It's back down to 3. Adams Central, though, just enough in him to fend off the Norse. Blake Hirely.
What a year he's having.
Indeed. Another touchdown for the Jets, and they cruise. 38-28.
Storming the field.
A win over Northfield.
We're storming the field in the Wabash.
And it sets up a regional with South Adams next week.
All right, we had some good options tonight.
We did. We had a lot.
We kind of debated in the newsroom, went back and forth about what it would be, but I don't know how you can pick against this. Lane Burns is a quarterback for Eastside. He's also a defensive back, and you see the play he made against his fellow QB tonight. Not only the pick, but the return. Makes about 4 guys miss on his way to the end zone, and it's all part of Eastside's first sectional championship in program history. So congrats to Eastside. Congrats to all the sectional winners tonight. And we got quite a few teams moving on to the regional round next week.
Looking forward to another week of high school football, Pete.
I'm looking forward to it, too. I'll be honest. I'm also kind of looking forward to sports that are indoors. But if we can get like 30 or 40 degrees warmer next week, that make me more excited. But obviously,
that South Adams Central game is going to be another great matchup down there.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing what Homestead can bring to the table against Carmel. Obviously, always a tough team for those Indy teams to come up here.
You know what they say? Tough to beat a good team twice. Southwood found out last week the hard way against Northfield. Now South Adams has to face their rival on their home field for a second time this season. That'll be the locker room's game of the week next week. And you said it. It will be interesting to see what Adams Central, what adjustments they make the second time around.